The research-ship Star Seeker drifted quietly through the dark space of Sector 7. Its blue-skinned crew members were busy with their usual task of mapping dead zones, areas where planets were too dangerous to support intelligent life. Captain Reed of the Galactic Survey Corps stood at the main window, his four eyes blinking slowly as he watched the new solar system come into view. "Another dead zone, most likely," he said to his science officer, Mark. They had seen hundreds of such systems, where the conditions were too harsh for any advanced life to develop. Most life-bearing worlds in the galaxy were gentle places with light gravity, stable weather, and peaceful environments. But this system was different. As they approached the third planet, their sensors started showing strange readings. The surface gravity was more than twice what most species could handle. The atmosphere was thick with reactive gases. There were active volcanoes, shifting continents, and violent storms visible from space. "Impossible," Mark whispered, his antenna twitching in surprise. "The sensors must be wrong. Nothing could live in these conditions." But as they moved closer, the impossible became real. The sensors showed cities, technology, radio signals, television broadcasts, internet communications. An entire civilization had not only survived but thrived on this death world. "Look at their weather patterns," said Linda, the meteorologist. Her scales changed color from green to blue as she studied the data. "They have frozen regions and burning deserts on the same planet. Their storms can throw buildings into the air. The air itself sometimes spins fast enough to tear the ground apart." The crew gathered around the main screen, watching in horror and fascination as they collected more data. They saw humans walking calmly through conditions that would kill most galactic species instantly. A light rain on Earth would be considered a devastating flood on most worlds. What humans called a cool breeze would be a destructive storm elsewhere. "They have predators everywhere," the biology expert, Jack, reported. His tentacles were wrapped tightly around his chair in stress. "In their waters, on their land, even in the air. Some of these creatures have been killing and eating each other for millions of years. And humans learned to survive against all of them." Captain Reed ordered the ship to maintain a safe distance. They watched as humans went about their daily lives, seeming not to notice or care about conditions that the galactic community considered horrifically dangerous. They saw humans swimming in oceans full of predators. They watched them climb mountains where the air was too thin to breathe. They observed them living in places where the ground itself regularly shook and split open. Some even made homes in areas where frozen water fell from the sky for months at a time. "Look at their entertainment," Linda said, pointing to a video feed. "They turn their survival skills into sports. They climb cliffs without safety equipment. They jump out of flying machines for fun. They race vehicles at deadly speeds. They will go to the most dangerous places on their already dangerous world for entertainment." The crew spent 3 days observing Earth, gathering more data than they had collected from any other planet. Each new discovery made them more amazed and more nervous. These humans weren't just surviving in these deadly conditions, they were mastering them. "We need to report this to the Council," Captain Reed finally said. "But we should be very careful about making contact. Any species that evolved on such a world, that learned to survive such conditions, they must be incredibly strong and resilient. If they're hostile." He left the thought unfinished. As the Star Seeker prepared to leave Earth's orbit, the crew watched the blue planet spinning below them. They had come expecting to find another dead world. Instead, they had found perhaps the most dangerous intelligent species in the galaxy. Humans who thought their deadly world was perfectly normal. "Mark," Captain Reed said quietly, "when you write the report, make sure to emphasize one thing. If humans ever decide to leave their world, the galaxy better hope they come in peace, because anything that can thrive on that planet could probably conquer any world they wanted." The Star Seeker turned and jumped to faster-than-light speed, leaving Earth behind. But the galaxy would soon learn much more about this deadly world and its surprisingly powerful inhabitants. 3 months after the Star Seeker's discovery, Tom Walker became the first human to step into the Great Hall of the Galactic Science Academy. At 6 feet tall, he towered over most of the alien scientists. His strong build, developed under Earth's heavy gravity, made him look like a giant among them. The alien scientists watched nervously as Tom walked to the center of the presentation area. They had reinforced the floor to handle his weight, just one of many adjustments they'd had to make for their first human visitor. The room was filled with the galaxy's greatest minds, all eager to learn about this deadly world called Earth. "Thank you for inviting me," Tom said, smiling at the audience. He had practiced speaking softly after learning that his normal voice was too loud for their sensitive ears. "I'm here to help you understand my home world." The main screen behind him lit up with images of Earth. The alien scientists murmured in fear as they saw massive waves crashing against coastlines, volcanoes spewing hot rock, and storms darkening entire regions. "This is a normal spring day in my hometown," Tom said, showing a video of what humans called mild weather. The aliens watched in shock as wind-bent trees and rain fell heavily from dark clouds. "We consider this perfect weather for outdoor activities." One of the alien scientists, Dr. Green, raised a trembling hand. "You mean your young ones go out in these conditions?" Tom nodded. "Children often play in the rain. They splash in puddles and make boats out of paper to float in the water." He showed images of children laughing as they jumped in rainwater, while the alien scientists looked horrified. "But that's not all," Tom continued. He displayed a map of Earth's different climate zones. "Some humans live where ice covers the ground for months. Others make their homes in places so hot that most species would cook alive. We've built cities in deserts, jungles, and Arctic regions." The presentation continued with details about Earth's wildlife. The aliens learned about tigers, sharks, bears, and other predators that humans had learned to survive alongside. They were amazed to hear that some humans kept smaller versions of predators, cats, and dogs, as pets in their homes. "The most interesting thing," Tom explained, "is how Earth's conditions helped us advance. Our strong gravity meant we had to build stronger materials. Our extreme weather taught us to adapt and plan ahead. Our diverse environments forced us to be creative with our solutions." He showed them examples of human innovation: buildings that could withstand earthquakes, vehicles that could drive through deserts or snow, and boats that could handle massive ocean waves. The aliens began to understand that Earth's deadliness had pushed humans to become incredibly resourceful. "But what about the dangers?" asked another scientist. "How do you handle living in such conditions?" Tom thought for a moment. "We don't really think about it," he said honestly. "To us, Earth isn't deadly. It's just home. We learn from childhood how to handle our environment. We watch the weather, we prepare for natural disasters, and we teach our children to respect nature's power." The presentation ended with a video of human achievements: people climbing Mount Everest, diving in deep oceans, exploring caves, and even launching into space. The alien scientists finally understood. Humans weren't just surviving on their deadly world. They were constantly pushing their limits to explore it. As Tom finished speaking, the room was silent. Then Dr. Green stood up. "We came to study your world thinking it was too dangerous for life," she said. "Instead, we found that its dangers created something remarkable, a species that can survive almost anywhere." Tom smiled. "That's the thing about Earth," he said. "It taught us that challenges make us stronger. Every obstacle we overcame made us more adaptable, more innovative, and more resilient." As the alien scientists filed out of the hall, they talked excitedly among themselves. They had come to learn about Earth's deadliness, but they had discovered something more important: the incredible strength it had given to its children, the humans. The Galactic Military Testing Center had never seen anything quite like this. On one side of the massive training arena stood 3 of the galaxy's most elite warriors. On the other side stood a single human, Robert Brown, a regular soldier from Earth's military forces. "This isn't a fair test," complained General Pike, his scales shimmering with concern. "We should send more warriors against the human. 3 isn't enough." Admiral Blake, Earth's military representative, tried not to smile. "Trust me, 3 is plenty. We don't want to embarrass anyone." The first test was simple. A strength challenge. Each competitor had to lift weighted bars. The alien warriors did well, each lifting weights that would be impressive on most worlds. Then came Robert's turn. The aliens watched in shock as Robert lifted 3 times what their strongest warrior managed. "But that's impossible," one of the judges whispered. They didn't know that Earth's stronger gravity had made humans naturally more powerful than most species. Next came the endurance test. The competitors had to run through an obstacle course while carrying heavy packs. The alien warriors started strong, but after 10 minutes, they began to tire. Robert just kept running, barely breaking a sweat. "How long can he keep going?" asked General Pike after 30 minutes. "Human endurance runners can go for hours," Admiral Blake explained. "Some run over 26 miles for fun. We call it a marathon." The aliens' jaws dropped. On their worlds, running that far would be considered an impossible feat. The combat simulation was even more impressive. The 3 alien warriors surrounded Robert, confident in their superior numbers. But they weren't prepared for human reflexes and reaction speed, honed by evolving alongside Earth's predators. Robert moved faster than they expected, his muscles powered by dense Earth gravity adaptations. When one warrior landed a hit, Robert barely seemed to notice. The aliens quickly learned another surprising fact about humans. They could take far more damage than most species and keep fighting. "Stop," called General Pike after Robert had gently but firmly disabled all 3 warriors. None were seriously hurt, but all were thoroughly defeated. This is unprecedented. But the most shocking demonstration came during the survival test. The competitors were placed in environments that simulated different planetary conditions. The alien warriors struggled with even slight changes in temperature and pressure. Robert, however, adapted easily to each environment. Hot desert conditions. He'd experienced worse in Earth's Sahara. Cold. Nothing compared to an Earth winter. Low oxygen. He'd trained in Earth's mountains. High pressure. Earth's oceans went far deeper. "Now you understand," Admiral Blake said to the stunned alien officials. "Humans don't just survive in harsh conditions. We thrive in them." Every human child learns to handle more extreme conditions than most species ever face. The medical tests revealed even more surprises. The aliens discovered that humans could heal from injuries that would be fatal to most species. Their bones could repair themselves after breaking. Their skin could regrow after damage. They could even survive the loss of some organs or limbs. But the most important thing to remember, Admiral Blake told the Galactic Council during the test review, is that Robert isn't special by human standards. He's just a regular soldier. Every human has these same basic capabilities. The council chamber fell silent as they considered the implications. A species that considered such power normal could be a terrifying enemy or an invaluable ally. "We have a proposal," General Pike said finally. "We'd like to create a joint training program. Your soldiers could teach our forces how to handle more extreme conditions. In return, we can offer advanced technology and space combat techniques." Admiral Blake nodded. This was exactly what Earth had hoped for. A chance to show that their strength could be used to protect and help others, not just to fight. As the meeting ended, word was already spreading through the galaxy. The humans from that deadly planet called Earth weren't just strong. They were willing to share their strength to help others become stronger too. The Great Chamber of the Galactic Council was filled to capacity. Representatives from 1,000 worlds had gathered to discuss one thing. Should Earth be invited to join the Galactic Council? Never before had the question of admitting a Death World species caused such debate. Council Elder Ray stood at the center of the chamber. Unlike many others, he had actually visited Earth, wearing a protective suit to handle the intense gravity and thick atmosphere. "My fellow council members," He began, "I know many of you fear Earth's strength, but let me tell you about their hearts." The chamber's screens lit up with images from his visit. They showed humans helping injured animals, rebuilding homes after storms, and rushing into dangerous situations to save strangers. These humans used their power not to dominate, but to protect, he explained. In the observation gallery, Ambassador James watched quietly. He remembered how nervous everyone had been when he first arrived at the council station. The aliens had reinforced his quarters, installed special gravity plates, and even built him a custom chair. Now, 3 months later, many of those same aliens would stop by just to talk. "But they're so dangerous," called out one council member, their tentacles waving in distress. "Their children play with carnivorous pets. They eat plants that would poison us. They drink filtered plant toxins for enjoyment." Ambassador James tried not to laugh. He'd had to explain several times that coffee wasn't actually a deadly poison, despite containing chemicals that would harm many alien species. "Yes, humans are different," Council Elder Ray continued. "But look at what they've already taught us." The screen showed new developments. Buildings using Earth-inspired designs to withstand earthquakes, protective gear based on human safety equipment, and emergency response techniques learned from Earth's rescue services. "They've even helped make our medical treatments better," added Dr. Wilson, the Council's chief medical officer. "Human bodies can heal from amazing amounts of damage. By studying them, we've improved our own healing methods." The debate continued for hours. Some council members worried that humans would accidentally hurt others with their strength. Others feared that human foods and drinks might contaminate alien environments. A few even suggested that humans should be restricted to their own solar system. Then a young alien child walked into the chamber. She was wearing a smaller version of the protective suits humans use during spacewalks. "Humans made this for me," she said proudly. "Now I can play outside, even when the wind is strong." The chamber went quiet. It was a perfect example of how humans use their experience with harsh conditions to help others. They didn't just survive their deadly world. They learned from it and shared that knowledge. Ambassador James was called to speak. He walked carefully to the center of the chamber, still conscious of how his Earth-bred strength could accidentally damage the station's lighter materials. "We know we're different," he said simply. "We know our world shaped us to be stronger, tougher, and more resilient than most species. But Earth taught us something else too. The strongest must protect the others." He showed them videos of human firefighters running into burning buildings, rescue workers helping during disasters, and doctors working to save lives. "This is what Earth's harshness really taught us. Not how to be dangerous, but how to help others survive danger." The council voted that evening. The decision was clear. Earth would become the newest member of the Galactic Council. But they added something unprecedented. Earth would also be designated as the Galactic Center for Emergency Response and Survival Training. As Ambassador James sent the news back to Earth, he smiled. The galaxy had finally understood. Earth's deadly nature hadn't created monsters. It had created protectors. Humans weren't feared anymore. They were the ones you called when things got too dangerous for anyone else to handle. "Welcome to the galaxy," Council Elder Ray said warmly. "We have a feeling you're going to make it a safer place for everyone." The peaceful farming world of Haven was under attack. Raiders from the outer systems had chosen this target thinking it would be easy to conquer. The planet's gentle gravity and mild climate had made its people kind but physically weak. Traditional Galactic Council forces struggled to fight in Haven's dense forests and steep mountains. Captain John stood on the bridge of the Earth rescue ship, Thunder, watching the situation unfold. His team of 50 humans had volunteered immediately when the distress call came in. They were used to dealing with crisis situations. Earth had trained them well. "The raiders have taken the main valley," reported his second-in-command, Lisa. "Local forces can't get close because of the heavy weapons fire. And the Council's troops aren't used to fighting in such rough terrain." John nodded. For humans, Haven's gravity was so light they could jump 6 meters high. Its air was so thin they barely needed to breathe hard. What the raiders thought was difficult terrain would be like a playground for Earth-trained soldiers. "Get the team ready," John ordered. "We're going in Earth style." The raiders had positioned themselves well, setting up barriers and gun positions on the high ground. They thought they were safe. They weren't prepared for humans who could leap over their barriers in a single bound. The Earth team moved in at night, while other species struggled to see in darkness. Human night vision was well adapted from Earth's predator-filled nights. They crossed terrain that the raiders had thought impassable, climbing cliffs and moving through dense vegetation with ease. "Remember," John told his team through their comms, "minimal force. We're here to protect, not destroy." That was the Earth way now, using their strength to defend others, not to dominate them. The raiders got their first surprise when Lisa's group attacked their main camp. They fired their weapons, but the humans moved faster than they expected, dodging between cover with Earth-honed reflexes. What seemed like killing fire to other species was barely a challenge for humans used to Earth's more deadly hazards. John's team struck from another direction, using their superior strength to disable the raiders' heavy weapons. Some raiders tried hand-to-hand combat, not realizing that humans were several times stronger than most species due to Earth's gravity. "They're demons," one raider screamed as he watched a human pick up and throw aside a barrier that would normally need a machine to move. "Not demons," John replied calmly, disarming another raider with careful precision. "Just humans. We're used to things being a lot harder than this." The battle was over in less than an hour. The raiders surrendered after watching their best weapons and tactics fail against these strange creatures who seemed to ignore the basic laws of physics. Not a single raider had been seriously hurt. The humans had been gentle by their standards. Later, as the Council forces secured the prisoners, Haven's leaders came to thank the Earth team. They found the humans already helping to rebuild damaged buildings, their Earth-given strength making quick work of heavy lifting. "We don't understand," said Haven's chief elder. "You fight like warriors but help like friends. You're so powerful, but so gentle." Lisa smiled as she easily lifted a fallen support beam. "On Earth, we learned that being strong means nothing if you don't use that strength to help others. Our world taught us to be tough, but our hearts taught us to be kind." The story of Haven's defense spread quickly through the galaxy. Other worlds that had feared Earth's power now saw it differently. The humans hadn't conquered or destroyed. They had protected and rebuilt. "Maybe that's why Earth is so deadly," one council member commented later. "It needed to create people strong enough to protect others, not just themselves." As the thunder prepared to leave Haven, John looked at the peaceful valley they had defended. Earth's deadliness had prepared them for this moment, not to conquer the galaxy, but to make it safer for everyone in it. The Galactic Technology Exhibition was buzzing with excitement. For the first time, Earth was showing its latest innovations to the galaxy. The main hall was filled with inventions that humans considered simple but that amazed other species. Professor Allen stood next to Earth's main display, explaining to a crowd of alien scientists how humans had learned to build things that could survive their planet's harsh conditions. "This is a regular Earth car," he said, pointing to a standard off-road vehicle. "It can drive through deep water, sand, snow, or mud. It can work in freezing cold or burning heat." The alien scientists took notes rapidly. On their worlds, vehicles usually worked only in perfect conditions. The idea of a machine that could handle such extreme environments was revolutionary. "But how do you make materials strong enough?" asked one scientist, their eye stalks wobbling with curiosity. "Our metals break under much less stress." Elen picked up a piece of Earth steel. "Our gravity forced us to develop stronger materials," he explained. "What's normal construction material on Earth is like super-strength metal to the rest of the galaxy." In another part of the exhibition, Dr. Beth was showing medical techniques. Earth's dangerous environment meant we had to learn how to treat all kinds of injuries quickly, she said, demonstrating a portable medical kit. "We can stop bleeding, fix broken bones, and fight infections almost anywhere. The alien doctors were amazed. Most of their medical treatments only worked in clean, controlled hospital environments. The idea of performing emergency medicine in the field was new to them. "Watch this," Beth said, activating a small device. This scanner was designed to work in Earth's thick atmosphere and strong magnetic field. It can check for injuries through thick walls or debris. We use it to find people trapped in collapsed buildings. The technology spread quickly through the galaxy. Ships were rebuilt using Earth design materials, making them stronger and safer. Buildings on other worlds were upgraded with Earth's earthquake-proof designs. Emergency services everywhere started using Earth's disaster response methods. But it wasn't just technology that Earth shared. They also taught their way of thinking. Jack, a human engineer, worked with alien construction teams, showing them how to plan for the unexpected. On Earth, we always ask ourselves, what's the worst that could happen? He explained while helping design a new space station. Then we plan for something even worse than that. It's kept us alive on our deadly world. The alien engineers learned to think differently. Instead of building things that worked in perfect conditions, they started designing for failure, making systems that could handle problems and keep working. Earth's influence appeared in unexpected places. Alien sports began including more challenging elements, inspired by human games. Entertainment started showing stories of overcoming difficult conditions. Even food changed, as some species carefully tried Earth's extreme cooking methods. "The most important thing we learned from humans," said Council Member Ray during a public speech, "isn't their strength or their technology. It's their attitude. They never see a problem as impossible. They always find a way." In the space station's observation room, Alan watched ships coming and going. Some were built in the traditional alien style, sleek and delicate. Others showed Earth's influence, stronger, more rugged, ready for anything. "We spent thousands of years thinking our world was trying to kill us," he said to a group of alien students. "Now we know it was actually making us stronger, teaching us lessons the rest of the galaxy needed to learn." One student raised their hand. "Do you think Earth will ever become more like other worlds, safer and calmer?" Alan smiled and shook his head. "Earth will always be dangerous. But now we understand that's not a bad thing. Its challenges made us who we are, problem solvers and protectors. We're proud of our deadly world because it taught us how to help others survive." As the exhibition closed that day, the galaxy had changed. Earth's deadly nature was no longer seen as a threat. Instead, it was recognized as the forge that had created exactly what the galaxy needed. A species tough enough to handle any challenge and kind enough to help others do the same. 5 years had passed since Earth joined the Galactic Council. The blue planet that was once feared as a death world had become something else entirely, a symbol of strength and hope throughout the galaxy. The Earth Training Academy, built in orbit around the planet, was filled with students from 1,000 different worlds. They came to learn how to survive in conditions they once thought impossible. Today was graduation day for the first class of non-human cadets. Commander Mike watched proudly as the alien graduates demonstrated their new abilities. Species that once couldn't handle any gravity changes were now doing exercises in Earth normal conditions. Beings that used to fear water were confidently performing rescue swimming. Everyone had grown stronger. "When I first came here," said Graduate First Officer Ben, his scales gleaming under the station's lights, "I could barely stand up in Earth gravity. Now I can run, jump, and even climb mountains. My people used to think that was impossible." The training wasn't just about physical strength. Earth's instructors taught their students how to think like humans, how to face problems head-on, how to adapt to changing conditions, and most importantly, how to help others survive. Earth's greatest gift to us wasn't just showing us how to be strong. Council Elder Ray said during the graduation ceremony, "It was showing us that we could all become stronger than we thought possible." Down on Earth's surface, special visitor zones had been built where aliens could safely experience Earth's conditions. They started in low-gravity rooms and slowly worked their way up to Earth normal. Many found it terrifying at first, but that was part of the lesson. "The first time I felt Earth's full gravity," said Ambassador Lin, now serving as a diplomat between Earth and their homeworld. "I thought I would be crushed. Now I understand. Earth's heaviness didn't crush its people, it made them stronger, and it can make us stronger too." The changes weren't just physical. Earth's influence had spread through galactic culture in unexpected ways. Alien children played games inspired by Earth sports, carefully adapted to their abilities. Artists created works about overcoming challenges. Scientists developed new technologies based on Earth's everything might go wrong approach to engineering. But perhaps the most significant change was in how the galaxy handled emergencies. Every major space station now had a human crisis response team. Earth-trained emergency workers of all species stood ready to help when disasters struck. The galaxy had become a safer place, thanks to the people from the Deadliest planet. "Look at that," Commander Mike said to a group of new students, pointing out the station's window at Earth. "Our world tried its best to kill us. Instead, it taught us how to live. Not just survive, but really live, facing challenges, helping others, getting stronger every day." The new students, wearing their protective suits, stared at the blue planet with a mixture of fear and excitement. They knew that training wouldn't be easy, but they also knew it would make them better. One of the students raised their hand. "Commander, do you think we'll ever be as strong as humans?" Mike smiled kindly. "Being strong like a human isn't about how much you can lift or how fast you can run. It's about getting back up when you fall down. It's about helping others even when you're scared. Earth taught us that everyone has their own kind of strength. We just help you find yours." As the graduation ceremony ended, ships from across the galaxy docked at the station. They brought more students, more visitors, and more people eager to learn from the deadliest planet in the galaxy. Earth had finally found its true purpose. It wasn't just a death world that created tough survivors. It was a teaching world that showed the galaxy how to become stronger, braver, and kinder. The planet that everyone once feared had become the galaxy's greatest school, a place where being deadly meant having the power to protect, to help, and to make the universe a better place for all species. "Welcome to Earth," Commander Mike told the new students, "the deadliest planet in the galaxy, and the best place to learn how to truly live."